When I say I studied over 100 of the best Shopify clothing brands, I mean it. Like all the homepages, all of them, I've been through them. So every layout, every headline, every product grid, every call to action. And what we discovered is that the top performers all share some of the same secret recipes. So today I'm going to break down exactly what you need on your homepage, not just to look good, but to actually convert visitors into buyers. Hey, I'm Christian Pignon, one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We specialize in helping clothing brands scale online. We've served over 300 clothing brands in the last year alone. I would appreciate if you'd like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our latest content. So first is the hero section. This is the top of your homepage, and it's the most valuable real estate that you own. Users spend about 57% of their time above the fold. That means if your hero section doesn't communicate what you sell and why it matters, you've already lost. Now, the best Shopify brands in 2025 aren't cluttering the space with fancy animations or vague slogans. Instead, they're actually using one strong headline, a high quality lifestyle image or video, and a single clear call to action. We got an example for Tecovas, which they have some amazing cowboy boots if you haven't checked them out. And right here on the hero section, they have a nice little video showing how their boots are actually made. So just showing a little preview of their workers actually building the boots, and the headline, how we make them one step at a time, single call to action, learn more. Like, it doesn't get any better than this in terms of letting the customer know sort of who you are, what you stand for in a very succinct way. And I'll say this too, like, we talk about hero, but we're also talking a little bit sort of like above the fold, right? So all the elements here have to work together to tell that story, to tell who you are, right? So your logo, what you have and what you display here in the navigation, what you have in the announcement bar, what you can kind of peek through here towards the bottom, what we see floating in the corners, right? All these little elements do matter. So it's not just the hero that we're looking at. We're at a glance looking at all this. And I always like to say this analogy, which is this snapshot that we see here is essentially your business card, is you presenting yourself to the world. If someone comes in here and they don't scroll anywhere, will they be able to tell who you are, what you do, what do you stand for, and who are these products for, right? You definitely got to think of this like a billboard on the busiest highway in your city, right? You only got about 3 seconds to catch attention and for people to try to read it real quick, right? Like, do you want people driving by to think, oh, that looks cool, or do you want them to instantly know that brand is for me? Now we have another example for Quince, not a video, but showing you a nice little grid of images showing you the product and showing you the product with actual models wearing the product. And then at the softest layer, cotton cashmere knit, timeless, soft, fairly priced, single call to action, shop sweaters. Now, a lot of the brands that I actually have here that we'll go over different sections on the homepage, they don't all follow this structure, but for us, this right here is the best type of hero section that you can include. It's either a single image or multiple images, video, single headline, single call to action. There are a lot of brands who are getting more into the storytelling, which we'll get into that point, but that's the reason why they're having multiple call to actions right here within the homepage. And to be honest, some of these brands are also personalized in the experience. So they may be asking for shop men or shop women's, and that's just because next time you come to their website, they're not gonna show you shop men, shop women's. They already know that you're coming for maybe the men's section, so they will serve you with a completely different hero section. So more about personalization down the road. Now, a second piece that stood out in my research was the navigation. Top converting homepages keep their menus clean. Now, we say clean, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of different options. I think having a lot of different options is great. And it's not just, having the essentials. I think having the essentials is absolutely crucial, right? New arrivals, bestsellers, feature collections, and then potentially some brand story links. But the most important thing here is organization. Every single one of these brands absolutely kills it when it comes to organizing their product. And when you think about organizing your products, a lot of people tend to go, okay, men and women's, right? Or they go maybe product type. No, you gotta go a little bit deeper into your brand. You gotta go and think about, like, people who are coming here, they may not be shopping for themselves. They may be shopping for gifts for others. Could you create collections for a man shopping for a woman, right? Like, all these little scenarios are gonna be super important for you to think about and go through and add them in here in your navigation, and also to take advantage of the mega menus, which are absolutely super popular nowadays, where you hover over certain things, and again, everything is just categorized, it's organized in a clean way. And they're also the best brands, right? They also navigate you into what is it that you want to look for, right? For example, for women's here, two of the main call to actions here are new arrivals and bestsellers, right? They have them highlighted here in a bigger font. They also highlight bundles, so you can save 20%. And they also are highlighting the fall collection here on the right-hand side. So even though they have a lot of links and they're organizing them very well, they're still trying to navigate the customer into the things that they want them to kind of go to. Right? If you don't know, if you get analysis paralysis, okay, look to the left, look to the right, right? You see things that are highlighted for you right there. And I will agree, right? Having a lot of different options could increase decision fatigue, and it could slow down conversions. But that's why it's important to not just give them the full breakdown, but do these things to visually navigate them through where is it that they need to go next after the homepage. I just have another example here for naturallife.com. Again, you hover over that particular dropdown, new and fall, and you'll see not as many links as we saw with Quince, but again, you have two highlighted images here navigating the customer on new arrivals and customer favorites. A third element that keeps popping up is social proof, but it's not just reviews kind of buried at the bottom of the page. In 2025, the winning homepages are integrating trust signals above the fold and throughout the page. That means pulling in star ratings under bestsellers, showcasing UGC photos in the middle of the homepage, and even displaying press features right after the hero section. One of these brands, for example, Beyond Yoga, if you scroll down here just a little bit on their homepage, you'll see that they have a see in IRL, so see in real life, and they have UGC video content just very quickly at a glance. You hover over these videos and they automatically play for you, so you can see and almost touch the products, right? Because you're seeing actual people showing you how the product moves. They're getting ready to go out and work out and maybe do some yoga, but you're seeing the product in real life almost right here within the homepage. Another brand that it's doing this really well is True Classic. So True Classic is they have a lot of clothing options now. Like they went from just having a singular t-shirt, now they have a lot more products to offer. They even have in-store locations. I think there might be in Costco or Sam's Club. But here, we talked about the hero, right? Here within the actual hero video, they showcase that they have 200,000 happy customers or something like that. And if you scroll just down just a little bit, actually 5 million plus happy customers, 200K 5-star reviews, and 100-day perfect fit guarantee. This is just right below that hero section. So if you do have social proof, integrating it throughout the homepage and in multiple places is going to be super important. Now, something else that I see brands do a lot, we're right here on Opoly, and if we scroll down just a little bit, we see some of the products, and right underneath all of these products, basically every single one of them, they have star ratings available for them, which is super important. And I think having the star ratings complement, right, the product title, pricing, color options, etc., is just a genius way to insert some social proof into your homepage. Now, I will say this too, because some people have new arrivals displayed here within the homepage, and a lot of times those new arrivals will probably not have the amount of star ratings that these products have, which I believe these are maybe more of the chosen for you bestsellers right here on the homepage. So something like this will be a lot better, right, than having new arrivals displayed, because the new arrivals just won't have any star ratings. At that point, my recommendation is still keep the star rating, but potentially hide it for products that have 0 star rating. So you just don't show a bunch of 0, 0, 0, 0. It just completely omits that section or that little block right here on the homepage. And if we scroll down here on Opoly, they also have Styled by You. So again, just showcasing some UGC content right here within the homepage, which if you do have it, this is just a great way to showcase social proof on your site. Now, I do want to know from you, and I want you to comment down below in the comments, when you shop online, what makes you feel like a brand is trustworthy? Like, what is it? Is it reviews? Is it influencer collabs? Is it just like a clean, professional looking website? I really want to know your answer, so comment down below. Now, moving on to the fourth element, that is product discovery. We've already kind of talked a little bit about that on the homepage, but the best Shopify homepages aren't waiting until the collection pages, right, to actually show you products. They're putting the best sellers, the trending items, or even AI-driven personalized recommendations right here on the homepage. It's reported that 43% of online shoppers in 2024 said that they bought something they weren't actually planning to because it was recommended to them on a homepage or a product page. And that number is only going to go up in 2025 as personalization just gets sharper and better with AI. Now, if your homepage doesn't show me what to buy, you're relying too much on the hope that I will go to that second page. And spoiler alert, most people won't. I think the average is like 1.5 pages that people go on and explore on your website. So at a glance, having all these elements on the homepage is gonna be super, super important. Obviously, I think all of these brands actually showcase and highlight different featured collections or categories. Again, we're going back to natural life, perfect things for fall. So they're recommending some new arrivals. Now, something that you notice in here, and a lot of these brands are doing this really well, is that they may not say just featured collections or new arrivals. The copy that they're using here within the headlines and some of the supporting text will match their branding. It will match their brand overall a little bit better. Now, we even look at something like Kith, which is a luxury streetwear brand. Even them, they are using some of these same elements and some of these same things. Right at a glance, they're showcasing some of the new arrivals, right? It's not just, they're actually using their hero banner to promote some of their new collections. They do so many collaborations and so many collections that it's super important for them to stay top of mind, right? Because people are coming back and coming back and coming back to their homepage. So they have to constantly be rotating this. Now, on top of just having the hero banner, if you scroll down just a little bit, right, these products that they are showcasing down here are the exact same products that you'll see from clicking on that hero banner. So not only are they telling you, this is our hero, this is our most important collection or collaboration right now, go shop now, I'm actually also going to show you the individual products inside of this collection at a glance right here within the homepage. Think about that. Now, the fifth piece is huge, and I almost guarantee you 98% of you are missing this, and it's storytelling. Like, the top performing brands are blending commerce with content. So they don't just drop a wall of products, they're actually weaving in their mission, their values, and story in just small doses throughout the homepage. Now, we look at something like Marine Layer, and you scroll down, you'll see obviously the hero products, and they go into the science of flex terry. So they're going deeper into kind of like their mission and the fact that they want to use materials that maybe nobody else has thought about using on some of these products. And then you keep scrolling down, and again, you'll see that they want you to learn about their brand a little bit better right here within the homepage. We look at a brand like Fairty, and you scroll all the way here towards the bottom, and you'll see things like reduce, rewear, relove, our story brand so far, native designs. So they're actually inviting you into their store. So it's not, their homepage is not just all about shopping or products. Like, they're also weaving in what they stand for, what's important for them as a brand. So instead of saying something like, shop sustainable denim, a brand could have a micro story about how their denim saves 2,000 gallons of water per pair compared to traditional jeans, right? That makes the product not just clothing, but a cause. And remember, people don't just buy clothes, they buy identity. And your homepage has to make that identity clear. Now, number 6 is mobile optimization. I think a lot of people talk about this, and obviously a lot of my examples we're looking at desktop, but and this is somewhat obvious. I mean, by default, Shopify does a pretty good job of making things fit from desktop into mobile, but I think the best brands are treating mobile with a little bit more thought, right? So they're actually making things either, making buttons bigger, maybe call to actions bigger, the text, making it a little bit more legible on mobile, using specific images for mobile only versus desktop. So the best ones, they're not just shrinking, right, that desktop version down, they're actually rethinking the flow for mobile. Now, finally, let's talk about the footer, right? This is probably the part that most brands ignore, and the best Shopify stores are using their footers as conversion boosters. Things like quick links, trust badges, FAQs, even a final email opt-in with a compelling offer, right? Think of the footer like the closing argument in a trial. If someone scrolls all the way down, they're interested. Don't let them leave without giving them one more reason to stay connected. A couple of examples, actually right here within Fairty, the one that we just scroll all the way down. They have pretty much all the things that we just talked about. They have a phone number, they have hours of operation, they have the certified B Corporation, which again goes back to their values and their mission. They have a nice little offer here for 15% off first time you sign up, and all the right details on links, right? There's not necessarily any product links, but there are all the links that you would need in terms of needing help, right? The journal, affiliates, find a store, returns and exchanges, size and fit guides, all the most important links that you can have right here. Something else that is part of the footer experience is Take Me Back Up, which is a nice little add-on. I always love when brands have that, but I love when brands have it where it just pops up once you get all the way to the bottom of the page. Now here with Natural Life, which is another one that we were looking at, sign up for a daily chirp, which that daily chirp was actually pretty interesting. They actually have it highlighted also here towards the bottom of the page where, yeah, you're not just signing up to like a boring email newsletter, you're signing up for some motivational heart and soul, which is, yeah, this is the heart and soul of Natural Life. But again, you look at this footer, it's well put together. It has all the correct links and all the things that your customers are going to need in order to get support from you. Now, Pink Lily doesn't have it here towards the bottom, but they do have what I would consider like, trust badges, right? Or like 4 reasons to fall in love with Pink Lily, how they have it here. So it's not all the way to the bottom, but they do showcase it here on the homepage. So I did want to call this out because not a whole lot of brands are really utilizing these trust badge sections. It's like a multi-column section with a nice little image and just letting the customer know sort of like how you operate or what makes you unique as a business. And going back to Threadbird, I did want to shout them out because I didn't talk about this, but they do have some, again, this is like next level, right? Which is unique, custom-made icons for the homepage. So instead of going to some place like flaticon.com or going to Google or using AI to come up with like generic icons, they've actually created custom-made icons for their brand. It matches exactly their colors, exactly what they're trying to say and visually how you want them to see themselves on the homepage. So this to me is, again, going that next level on showcasing and highlighting your brand, not just saying it, but also visually showing it to customers. Now, hold on just 1 second. I want to say if you are a clothing brand owner and you want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow it profitably online, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so you can go find a time right now. There's a link in the description down below. So to recap, Shopify homepage that convert in 2025 need to have a clear, compelling hero section that instantly communicates your offer. You need to have a simplified but robust navigation that reduces friction and guides the customer where you want them to go next. You need to have social proof that's integrated throughout the page, not just a singular section. Also needs to have product discovery happening right on the homepage. Storytelling woven into the design and mobile first design that just feels effortless. And next level, again, we always talk about next level. Next level is creating your own apps. Some of these, like I know Abercrombie has an app, which actually is absolutely genius. You go on your mobile phone, you go on Chrome or Safari. If you already have the app, if you try to go to their website, it won't let you. It will take you to the app experience, which is just better for the customer. It's easier, faster, which are all things that a customer wants. I guess a returning customer would want from a brand. And lastly, a footer that just seals the deal. It has all the right trust signals and one last call to action to sign up to the email newsletter. Again, if your homepage nails these elements, you're setting yourself up for success in 2025. The difference between nice looking homepage and a high converting homepage is truly strategy. And I can tell you, all these brands, they aren't just guessing, they actually have a proven formula to get this right. So my challenge for you is open up your homepage after this video, compare it against this checklist. Where are you strong? Where are you weak? And that's gonna be the path to boosting your conversions this year. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're interested in maybe some apps that can help you with some of these homepage elements that we're talking about, you can check out this video over here next.